In front of us, you see a map of Europe, and you see the whole concentration camp system the Nazi regime set up. So here in the south, first camp, March 1933. In the north, 9 other concentration camps on German soil, built up from 1936 to 1939. And then left-hand side, right-hand side, you see the countries occupied during the Second World War, and you see in almost all occupied countries, the Nazi regime set up other concentration camps. So in total, 28 concentration camps. And there were 2 types of concentration camps the Nazi regime set up. On the one hand side, like Dachau, so-called labor camps. On the other hand side, the Nazi regime set up in 1942 so-called extermination camps. In 1942, the SS leadership built up in Poland 7 so-called extermination camps. Inside these concentration camps, the Nazi regime built up gas chambers, and then in 1942, the Nazi regime started to deport the Jewish population and gypsies out of Germany, out of all occupied countries, to the 7 extermination camps in Poland. And inside these camps, the Nazi regime murdered prisoners by gas. Of course, the well-known extermination camp, former one, connected to Auschwitz, the extermination camp named Dachau. Alone in Dachau, we assume the Nazi regime murdered 1 million prisoners by gas. So that was one type of concentration camps. Extermination camps in East, concentration camps with gas chambers. Now, return to our main topic today. The other type of concentration camps, labor camps like Dachau. I would like to give you now information about the situation here at Dachau. I would like to show you one example of a work commando before Second World War and then one work commando during the Second World War, because the situation changed. First of all, come as close as possible. Yeah, our problem today here at our exhibition, we only have small copies. And so it's the best way to see my copies when we stay together. So, first of all, I would like to show you one example of the first commandos at Dachau. One drawing made by one survivor named Appelbaum. You see one of the first commanders at Dachau before Second World War. You see in the middle the so-called Dachau sand pile. That was a huge sand pile on the right-hand side of the roll call area. And on the first day, the SS forced the prisoners 12 hours without any break to carry the sand from the right-hand side to the left-hand side, and on the second day again, 12 hours without any break to carry back the sand from the left-hand side to the right-hand side. So that's one typical example of a work commando here at Dachau. For our view, the work commandos were senseless. The aim of the SS was to exploit the labor. The official term used by the SS at Dachau first, extermination through work. Second period, Second World War. Germany had a population of 69 million people. And during the Second World War, in total, 21 million fought for Germany. So think about this number. Population 69 million, 21 million fought for Germany. So the problem for the Nazi regime, Germany needed workers. to produce military goods during the Second World War. And when you look twice at the map in front of us, you see all around the concentration camps 10,000 dots. 10,000 dots for 10,000 so-called subsidiary camps. So all around the concentration camps, the Nazi regime built up 10,000 subsidiary camps. Then the SS deported prisoners out of the concentration camps to the subsidiary camps, and inside these subsidiary camps, German companies forced prisoners to produce military goods. Almost all German companies you know today produced weapons at this period. So for example, Mercedes, famous for cars today, produced tanks. Siemens produced tanks too. Or in Bavaria, BMW produced military airplanes. And I would like to show you now the working situation in the largest subsidiary camp connected to Dachau, the camp in the west, the largest subsidiary camp of Dachau, camp named Kaufering, subcamp with 30,000 prisoners. That was the working situation in the subcamps of Dachau. Here on this picture, you see the bunker connected to one of the subcamps of Dachau. The SS forced the prisoners to build up a large bunker for the German Air Force to produce the first German jet planes in 1944-45. The prisoners had to build up this huge bunker with no tools, with no machines. They had to build up this huge bunker just by hand. Think back at the murderous working condition, building up a bunker without any tools, without any machines, just by hand. Alone in this subcamp in the west of Bavaria, more than 2/4 of the prisoners died by building up this huge bunker for the German Air Force. Okay, so far, introduction about the term labor camp like Dachau, 2 examples of former work commanders. Any questions so far? Then, right inside